You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Hello and welcome to another juicy episode of the Unstoppable Actors podcast, where my aim is to turn you into an unstoppable actor. And it doesn't matter what level you're at. You might be brand new. You might be returning to the industry. You might be having a bit of a dry spell. You might be regularly auditioning but not getting any work. It doesn't matter where you are. We welcome all levels of experience because ultimately the process to becoming an unstoppable actor is the same. It's mindset, skill set, and action set. And today's topic is very, very, very juicy. How can I guarantee acting work? I do believe there's a lot of fear that goes around in the industry, and pursuing an acting career, whilst it's very brave and courageous, and you are brave and courageous because, there's no guarantees, but there is also a lot of fear that comes with that. And I want to unpack this. I want to unpack this fear. I want to unpack this whole idea around there not being guarantees. And I really want you to be feeling more empowered and inspired by the end of this episode, because as I always say, an acting career is doable. It is. It's just that you need to use a specific framework. And part of that framework I'm going to be exploring with you in this episode. Now, if you enjoy it, please do hop over to our DMs on Instagram, which is at Standby Method Acting Studio, and let us know. Send me a DM. Tell me what the biggest takeaway was from this episode. Tell me what you enjoyed about it. Tell me how it's helped you. And I could be reading out your DM on the next episode. Now, before I get into it and get into the crux of guaranteeing acting work, we've got a Christmas raffle where you can win some super duper exciting, essential method acting prizes that are going to make you so much more sellable and castable in the acting industry. Now, we're offering this so you can still access training around the Christmas period, which obviously can be quite expensive, but you don't have to celebrate Christmas to be able to enter the raffle. It's just called a Christmas raffle. So all you need is to want to become an unstoppable actor. And this is the only time we're going to run something like this. So all you need to do is click the link underneath the episode. It will take you to our Unstoppable Actors Facebook group where the Christmas raffle is taking place. You just need to tell us which number you want. And hopefully you will be the one winning the training, because it will make such a difference to your acting career. You'll start getting light years ahead of where you are now. So I will mention this again at the end of the episode in case you forget, but it's definitely something I would encourage you to be entering, because, for £3, which is how much it is to enter, you could be getting your hands on some life-changing, career-changing method acting prizes. So let's get into the episode then. Now, you've heard it before, and I've said it earlier. There are no guarantees in the acting industry. Absolutely none. Which kind of goes against the title, how can I guarantee getting acting work? But one thing I want you to know is that there are no guarantees with anything in life. So let's just think about those in salaried jobs. They could still lose the job. The company could still go under. There's no guarantees you'll pass your driving test, ever, or first time. There's no guarantees you'll meet the love of your life when you sign up to a dating site. Those are just some examples that I could think of off the top of my head. There's literally no guarantee with anything. So we don't really want to be getting stuck in this fear-based way of thinking and behaving as we pursue our acting career of oh my God, it's such a oversaturated industry. Yes, it is. But that doesn't mean you can't make it, whatever make it means to you. So we don't want to get sucked into that, because there's no guarantees with anything in life. I don't want to be morbid. I don't want to cause you to get frightened, but there's no guarantees that you'll wake up tomorrow. I know that sounds horrendous. And like I've just said, I don't want to put fear into you, but there isn't. So why don't we start from that place then? Because what I love to say and how I love to live my life, which I want to pass on to you, is that with anything, the only way is up. So if there are no guarantees, anything else is a bonus, isn't it? So the only way is up. But it means you have to take a risk with your acting career. And that means, firstly, betting on yourself and going, okay, you know what? Instead of getting so attached to what I think my acting career should look like and what everybody else tells me what a successful acting career is, why don't I just turn this into one big experiment? I know there are no guarantees, but if I turn this into an experiment, it becomes much more fun. It can take me to some unexpected places that might even turn out better than I imagined. So with that in mind, are there things you can do to increase your chances? Absolutely. And I'm saying this as an acting coach, well, a method acting coach, who has been coaching actors of all levels, but mostly brand new actors and obviously a lot of unknown actors for the past 13 years, and helping them get in TV soaps as guest lead roles, helping them get in films that show at Cineworld, helping them get taken on by some fantastic agents who have got lots and lots of contacts, helping them get in stage plays. Now, I didn't get them that work, but I helped them with the business side of things. I helped them with their craft. I helped them with their marketing. I helped them with the mindset. And then they took the action. All of those things combined, which I've already said at the beginning, mindset, skill set, action set, are the things that help you increase your chances. Now, I heard a story on the radio a couple of days ago. This were on BBC Radio 1. That's obviously in the UK. I do think they broadcast around the world as well. But there was a story on the news on Radio 1 about someone who had failed their driving theory test 59 times and then passed on the 60th. And they'd spent well over £1,000 just on the theory tests alone. So if you're in the States, that would be about $1,500, if not maybe a bit more. I'm just taking a rough guess at what it would convert to, and for other currencies, I'm not sure. But it's a lot of money, right? So I feel like this is a good place to start the podcast, because that person could have easily given up after the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, or even the first attempt with the theory test, but they kept going. And the lesson from this that you can take as an actor is that they showed resilience. And that is one of the things that you need to increase your chances of landing work. You need resilience. Another thing you need is drive. No pun intended. Because again, that person who took all those theory tests must have been so driven. No pun intended again. Sorry, it's the only word I can think of. But you know what? As well as being driven, as well as being resilient, they must have had a really clear vision of what it would look like on the other side when they pass their theory test, when they pass their practical driving test. And what's on the other side of that is all that freedom to go anywhere they want. Not having to rely on buses, not having to rely on trains, not having to rely on trams, not having to rely on lifts from other people, like that absolute freedom and control over their own life, at least in that aspect. And how does this relate to acting? You need to get a clear vision. What does it mean to you? What does it look like to you when you finally become a full-time working actor? What does your life look like? How do you want it to look? Does that mean freedom to you? Does it mean financial freedom? Does it mean time freedom? Because, you know, let's say you're getting a TV series and you're working on it for however many months, but then after that you get 3-6 months off and you've still got enough of an income, or you've been paid enough to keep you for those next 3 months. Like, is that what it looks like? Have you actually really thought about this? Because what too many actors do is they focus on the here and now. That 1 pence that's left in the bank account, or 1 cent, or €1. They focus on the challenges and obstacles. I haven't got enough time. I don't feel motivated. And whilst we don't want to deny these things, because these things do become a part of our reality, we also want to acknowledge what is possible for us, what is on the other side of where we are right now. But don't get so attached to it that once you've got your vision clear, like that's the only thing that could happen. Because as I've said at the beginning of the episode, this is an experiment. And your acting career can go anywhere you want it to. And it might turn out even better than you originally planned with your vision. So far we've got, you need to be resilient, you need to be driven, you need to see it as an experiment, the only way is up from where you are now, and you need a clear vision. So let's go back to this person then who took their theory test 60 times. In my eyes, that is so inspiring, super inspiring. And I firmly believe you have to be finding stories like that to keep you disciplined. Notice I don't say motivated, because motivation can wane, it can dip, it can disappear. We need discipline. We need discipline and we need to continue taking action. So you need to find lots of stories that are going to inspire you to stay disciplined. And they don't just have to be stories of actors breaking through. They don't just have to be rags to riches stories. Yes, they are super inspiring, but they can be stories from any industry, from any walk of life. So if we, again, go back to this person who took the theory test 60 times, I find that inspiring. And I go, okay, well, they might not be trying to be an actor, but there's a lesson in that. There's a big lesson in that you do not give up. Because 60 times is a lot of times to take your theory test, isn't it? Now, also, as well, that person would have had to have kept studying. I mean, they're going to have kept going over the theory test questions again and again and again and again. And one of my favourite sayings, which I've not said for a while on the podcast, but I say all the time in the classes where I teach my students and coach them, is repetition is the mother of success. So the more you repeat something with a keen eye on improving, and the intention of improving and getting better, the more successful you become. So if that person who took their theory test 60 times had to keep studying, well, then that's what you're going to need to do as an actor. You need to train hard and you need to learn method acting. And it's what those actors who you see on your screens did. It's what those actors who you see at the theatre did. They trained. That is a non-negotiable. And it's also a non-negotiable training in method acting. Because it's thorough, it's in-depth. It gives you what you need to be standing out in the industry, to be showing up as credible, as sellable, as castable. And at Standby, we've got a saying which is the craft first for long-term success, and it is absolutely true. And I'm going to give you an example of this. There's an actor that I trained called Ben Sora, who worked bloody hard in the classes. Really, really hard. When I trained him. And in September, he was in EastEnders, which is a primetime TV soap in the UK. And he had a decent scene, a really decent scene. And he's been getting a lot of auditions off the back of that. And since then. And then this week, he's got, at the time of me recording this, he's got a film out at Cineworld. Now, Cineworld is a huge company here in the UK. I don't know if it's global. I don't know if they have it in the States or Europe or Australia or where else. But Cineworld is the cinema. So his film is out at the cinema this week. That is big news. Big, big news. And I have got countless other students who have gone on to do high-profile TV work, get snapped up by agents higher up the ladder. You know, it works. The formula is always the same. Be resilient, have a vision, keep learning, training method acting, and it's not a challenging formula. You are more than capable of executing this formula if you will stop focusing on your current reality and the obstacles and challenges. It's not to say, as I've already said earlier, that we want to deny them. We absolutely don't. You know, if you're feeling a bit skint or you are a bit skint this month, that's okay, acknowledge it. But that don't mean you're going to be skint forever, every single month going forwards. Because it's in your power to change that. And it is in your power to be able to change your current reality with your acting career and your acting goals and your acting dreams. Now, I can't tell you when you're going to get those breakthrough roles. I can't give you a guarantee of that. But I can tell you what, with the above advice and perseverance, you will eventually break through. Maybe in the way you expected, maybe in an unexpected way. But those are the things that you need to do to increase your chances of getting those breakthrough roles. And you've got to stay consistent with them. So with that in mind, are you going to enter the Method Acting Christmas raffle? Are you going to take a bet on yourself and see what's possible for you? Because if you win those method acting training courses that are available to you in the raffle, not only will you be taking the lessons in this episode much, much further, but you will be getting very practical. You'll be getting that hands-on guidance from myself, and you will be elevating your brand as an actor. You will be increasing your performance skills at a rate like no other. And you will be feeling bloody good about yourself. You'll be feeling confident. And when you feel confident and when you feel good, you're more likely to keep taking action. So the link is underneath the episode to enter. It'll take you to our Unstoppable Actors group, which is where the raffle is. If you're not already a member, just request to join and I'll let you in. And if you are already a member, it will take you straight to that post. As always, I hope you've got a renewed sense of motivation. I hope you're feeling inspired. I hope you're feeling empowered. And good luck if you are entering the raffle, which I highly recommend you do. I'll catch you again soon. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.